right, let's do this. My name is Wilson, and I'm starting this channel to help your journey in animation and game development. I'm a game developer myself. I've been working animation for cinematics and gameplay for like quite a few projects throughout my career. Had a chance to working on GTA, the upcoming Fable, Watch Dogs Legion, Far Cry 6, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So I've been in the industry for a while, and I decided to make my own game. So in the process of making this game, I just decided to also share, document, uh, challenging things that are like I've seen, stuff that I learned, and of course sharing some of my experience in the gaming industry. So the goal in this channel is to help in your journey to improve your skills, learn a little bit more in engine game stuff, and make your own game if that's your goal. So today's episode, I will be showing you something that I found out to be very productive in terms of game development and production. So in industry, some people they tend to spend a lot of time in the animation software. Like in this case, for like my example today, I'm using Maya, uh, but doesn't matter the software. So you're animating for a game, and the final result will be seen by the player in engine, right? And I think I find that's very counterintuitive and counterproductive to be working and spending so much time in animation software without seeing your animation in game. So what I found out in my project, and of course this is like a way that I like to work in the industry. I want to spend as little time as possible in animation software because I want to see the animation integrated. I want to see the logic. I want to see if the time is working. I want to see if it's responsive. I want to see if it feels good for the player. Because at the end of the day, at least like in my mindset, we are making a game for the player, right? We're not making a game for ourselves. So I could spend hours trying to put like so much in animation software and trying to make things like as I think it would work for me. And then when you grab the controller or when you go to like a playtest or whatever, the game doesn't feel good. You got like so many responses there, like the game is not good. So the idea of spending as little time as possible, it doesn't mean that you're going to make like a terrible animation. It's not what I'm saying. Is that you want to see the animation integrated. You want to see the animation working in game, so then you can go back and do the fixes. The moment I send my animation to Unreal, which I will be going through in this video right now, I can open a sequencer, edit my animation, and save it. And this animation will be the one that I'm using for my game. So it's pretty fast, and it's so much better than just like going back, open the animation software, redo the animation, re-export, making sure the animation is working in game, and if it's not working, going back and redo that. In Unreal, you can just save, see if your changes they're working, and the animation is good. Of course, eventually you can go back to the animation software and do all the pretty things that you want to do. But understand that the important thing is the feeling. For a prototype, for like a, an alpha, you don't need to worry about so much about the quality. This will you can come back and address all these issues, right? So I'm going to my screen and then I can share with you guys all all this process from Maya to Unreal and then edit the animation straight up in a sequencer. Let's do this. All right, so now that we're in Maya, I have this little animation that I've been working on for my project. It's a straightforward, like simple dodge animation that covers 290 centimeters. I have a little locator here just to have as a reference. It's showing that it goes like a 290. That's the distance I want my character to cover for this dodge. And then if I play, you can see this. This animation is running at 60 FPS and has 60 frames length. So that means it's a 1 second animation, right? This video will probably be uploaded in 30 FPS. So the timing may not be the same for the animation of what I'm seeing and what you will see, but this is just like a reference, right? It's like the animation will be your animation, and the goal here is to get this exported and then working on Unreal. So you can find this rig. Uh, if you type animator's journey on Google, Maya Mannequin rig, you will find this rig, which is a game changer because it carries all the information from bones that you can be just retargeting into your file in Unreal, and that's what I've been using for my project, and it works really, really well. So you can go to the website. There is like a little area where you can put it like the amount that you want to contribute for the artist. And I gotta say, just send some love. It's a really good rig. It works for this kind of project that we want to work. So send the guys some love. You will do as if you would do like in any animation software, right? You're going to grab the controls, animators, any rig would be animated. The important thing is the root. We will be talking about roots in some future videos, but the root is it's the information that the character carries, like regarding motion, locomotion, movement. So if I don't have the root moving with my character is just not going to move, right? So we want to have the root following the character center of mass. And for that, we have a little, you just go right here, this guy, and let me unhide this. We have this little joint bone structure called root, right? And as I'm moving my character, you can see that I have like a few keys here just to follow my character center of mass, as you can see. But if I just scrub, you'll see that it's animated. It's following my character, right? So by default, this won't be animated. The root stays at 0, right? The root stays here. And then when I move my character, the root stays there. This is what you need to focus on, right? If you want to get this working, you will have to grab your character moving and move the root along the line. In this case, it's a straight line because it's a dodge forward. It makes things a lot simpler. And then once my character stop, let's say plants the foot, it's right here. I say I want my character to stop at 290, which is the distance I want to cover, right? For my dodge. For some reason, okay, let me just copy and paste. Cool. So my character is stopping at 290. That respecting the metrics that I want to keep for my dodge. So this is what you need to do. You just need to move your root as you move your character. Let me undo it because the other version was it's the same. It was just working much better because I was actually making sure it was following the center of mass. And right now it's just like eyeballing. So once you move the root along with the character, the next step is you're going to select the entire joint bones structure for the character. Otherwise, it won't work. You need to select all the bones structure, and that means you can export animation because when you send the animation to Unreal or any other engine, you don't send the character, you don't send texture, you don't send anything. The character is already there. You want to send the bones, the skeleton, and then you retarget from there. All right. So what are you gonna do? If I select root as an example, and I go my select all by type joints. If I do this, now you see like it became all white. That means like it's everything fully selected. If you go just like you and do on your outliner and just select like this, if I expand this, you see that it's not being selected. That means you're not going to get this right. So you need to actually select all by type and joints. That means you're selecting everything. Cool. So next step is you're going to file, game exporter. Don't need to worry about exporting like the exports, send to Unreal, export all, export selection. Don't. Just go to the game exporter. Seems to like work like fine for me. It will work for you. So go to game exporter. It will open this guy here. There are a few options: model, animation clips, and time editor. You want to go to animation clips, right? Export selection, because that's what we just selected, all the skeleton, right? And then in clip name, that's where you're going to select all your animations, right? And in Motion Builder, which is it's a very popular software for motion capture, but you can do hand key animation in there as well. You have the takes, which every single take you can do a different animation. But in Maya, we don't have that. There are like a few ways to work around. You can either use bookmarks, which is the way that I'm using. So like all the animations there stay under the bookmarks in these areas. I can show in future videos. Um, all the animations they stay in the bookmarks, or you can also do on layers. I can also show that in future videos. Not going to spend much time with this. All right, so once I have the character selected, I open the game exporter, I go to my clip name, and I click in this plus sign. I'm going to name my animation. So let's say dodge forward. That's pretty simple, right? Let me just quit this. All right, so I have from start to end, I have 0 to 60, which are my frames, like my starting frame, my ending frame, right? That's what you want to be sure. If you, for any reason, you change the time of your animation, make it like the animation like takes longer, like in frame length, or shorter, you want to be sure that these will be fixed, right? Your starting time, end time, they need to match with your entire animation. Cool. So 0 to 60, that's my first animation, and the export selection. And then you have the path, right? My path, I have right here this content creation export. I'm just going to save here and just hit export. All right, that was pretty quick, right? So um, the next thing, we'll go to Unreal, and then we're going to do our animation there. Cool. All right, guys. All right, we're back and we're in Unreal right now. So for this part of the video, I would recommend you to use a dump Unreal project file. Um, it's no different than any other project file, right? But you're just going to name as dump, right? Because it is a dump. It's a dumpster on fire. You don't want to have a bunch of like garbage, a bunch of like stuff in your main project. So for me, I do all my tests, everything I need to do. If I get like a plugin, if I want to test a new feature, if I want to retarget some animations from like example Mixamo for like as a test for prototypes that eventually I will be putting my own. I don't want to get a lot of like stuff from from the package that it's not necessary for my project. It's just going to make my game like a lot bigger, and it's going to take so long for people to download eventually when the game gets shipped. And um the performance is going to affect the performance, right? It's like now everything is like about performance. The games, they're just taking like so much of the computers, the computer power. So you want to think about performance as you think about space, right? It's not only making a fun good game. This, I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure you're very creative and you can create your own game, but thinking about in a more like with a more production mindset, that's what's going to make like your game playable, right? Fun is one thing, playable is another thing. Cool. All right, so now I have my dump file, my dump project, and we're going to create a new project. So like at the first, like because we want to have a clean slate, right? Like you want to create like a new level, so I'm going to show you how to do that. And then this is going to be like our test jump that we can actually go there and then do the changes in our animation. So I have like a little folder right here, my Unreal project file, and I'm going to right click level, and I'm going to say animation level. That's cool. Let me save this first, otherwise it won't work. So double click. That's where you're going to see first. All black. There's nothing there. Nothing. Cool. So you can see like a little bit of the grid here, but if I just play my character, it will just go through it. It's gonna keep like falling forever. It's not gonna work. So the first thing you want to do, right here in selection mode, you want to go to landscape. Now you things you start to see some change. Don't need to do anything here. Just hit create. Cool. Nothing. Still. Next thing you're going to do, go to Windows. Environment light mixer. I believe so. Yes, there you go. So environment light mixer, it's where you're going to add all your lights. So you just click in every single light, and now there you go. You have a level. If I want to play, I can just click play. Oops, it's probably too low. If I hit play, my character is right here, and I can just do all the motion and everything because now there's like a surface where my character can just walk. And go back to selection. Cool. That's what I want to do. So let me save this. And then we want to bring our animation. And just to keep things organized, right? It's like I said, playable games, think about performance, space, organization. You want to make things like very clean and organized. You're going to animation, and then I'm going to add my dodge animation right here. Just right click and create a new folder. So what you're going to do, from here, you right click, you can either import to current folder, or you can just drag and drop. So like in this case, I have this right here. Cool. As you can see, I have my file right here. If I just drag and drop, my reel, it's going to show like import content. I need to select a rig. And for this project, I'm using Quinn. So let me look for Quinn Simple. I think this one's, yeah, there you go. I click this one and import. Let's see if it works. Cool. All right. Double click. And I have my dodge animation right there, right? Pretty simple. Not quite. You want to make sure, remember I mentioned the root. You want to make sure root selection. Now you can see the lines that I was, showing before. So if I go back to my Maya file and I click on my root and I select motion trail, of course I'm not going to see. I hit that, but you will see this straight line. This is where I was telling you, you need to have the motion, the root motion. Of course, even if I don't have in the preview, yes, you see the character moving forward, but not when you actually integrate this animation, you're going to have a lot of issues, right? Because you want your animation to start from wherever your character is and end wherever your character stops, right? So you want to make sure root is checked. So I'm saving this. The next thing we want to do, you go to editing sequencer, edit with FK control rig. Click there. These are the options they will show you. Bake to control rig. You can just leave everything as is. If you want to have like some reduce keys, so it won't, your animation won't be baked with like every single key, you can check this box. I'm not sure what results you can have. So like that's like it really depends on the animation. For in my case, I would just leave as is and just bake to control rig. All right, so this is what you have now. Once you bake the animation, the character will appear in your sequencer, right? And as you can see, I have my dodge animation playing right there. Cool. So it's not done yet. You could still use the skeleton to do the animation, but it's not recommended. I wouldn't recommend. It's just so much more work. You have to like get every single joint and trying to edit. You just need to do like a few more steps and you're good to go, right? So from here, you have your character. you're going to click in this plus sign and track, control rig, layered, and then uncheck filter asset by skeleton. Check the first one, uncheck the second one. The first option is your character. Boom. That's all you need to do, right? So there's still a lot of information on the screen, and I like to work in like a much more cleaner way. So if you go right here in Outliner, there is like in FK control rig, there is this little icon with an eye. Just click that. See, the skeleton disappears. You don't have a lot of like much more information on the screen. It's just too busy. So also right here, we have the lights. Let's just move them down. We don't need all this stuff on the screen. We want to have the animation. We only have the character and the controls. That's all we need, right? So there you go. Now there we have this guy right here. Play my animation. If I pause, you can see the controls and you can also see the route following my character. Very important. I can edit the animation as I please. So let's say during my crouch animation, as you know, there's a little anticipation where my character is lowering the body. I want to make the character lower a little more, like right, do like a little more, like a little longer anticipation. So what I'm gonna do, I want to key here and key here and because I want my animation to blend into my chains without affecting the whole animation. So like I'm creating some sort of like checkpoints right here to not affect the entire animation. That's very important when you're working with layers, and that's what we're doing here right now. I can go more in depth in some other videos. But as for now, we want to make sure for every control you select or for the entire character, you select the first, the last key, just to make sure your character is going to like keep it the original animation there saved. So let me just remove this snap. I don't want this happening here. I want my character to lower the body a little bit. As you can see, my character is doing this, right? And then pushing forward, right? I want my character to go a little lower, do a little more of this. Key. You can, of course, auto key if you want. That is the icon for the auto key. And then from here, was that the guy that I selected before? Let me see. Yeah, I probably got it like something different. If I want to just blend out into the first pose because if for some reason I clicked the wrong button, um, as you can see now, my character is lower throughout the entire animation. It's because the key here, I probably clicked something else, right? So you want to go right here in animation details and then click in this little arrow that would return your character to the original animation that you had in the animation software. So if I play now, there you go. My character is slowing a little bit more, and then the motion is like a lot of snappier. It feels like a lot like faster, right? Because like there is like a little more gap for my character to cover from frame 11 to frame 19, right? So that was like my little change. And that's just something I want to show to you, right? It's like right now, I have this, and if I save, just Control S, and then I go back to my animation, you see my character now lowering as I did on my animation sequencer. So that's powerful. This is a lot of control. This is what you can do in a real sequencer, right? Of course, it's like a quick video. It's very simple stuff. But if you think on a big picture, the amount of time you can save doing this is it's priceless. It's priceless, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe. I will be posting more videos very soon. Thanks for watching.